podcast.
Yes, I agree.
Swick, Swickatine, Swick, Swick, Swickatine, Swick, Swick, Swickatine, Swick, Swick, Swickatine.
All right, we are back. Just us, buddy.
Perfect. The way I like it.
It's been a while. So, yeah, no guests in this one. So
Don't need them.
don't turn it off, guys. Stay tuned. This is gonna be a kick-ass
Oh, they will.
podcast.
These are the ones they like the most.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, and we just got done with Rock Wars. We did another MMA promotion here in Thailand, and we actually made history.
Yeah. Pattaya
Yeah.
this weekend.
So we've been there all weekend. It's stressful putting these shows on, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and we came into this one really late, but we pulled it off. I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
It's stressful, but man, that's a lot of fun when you get to meet. I mean, we had fighters from Cambodia, which
Philippines.
I don't know anybody from Cambodia.
Yeah.
Bangkok, obviously, Phuket. So
Phuket, everywhere, man. And like, this was just a conglomerate of like entities that came together and all had, their skills and put things together. And so, it was JNS concert promotions, Vicious Circle, big one, Sabotage,
MikeSwick.com.
MikeSwick.com, Fairtex came on board and sponsored, True Arena, Hua Hin.
Yeah.
And we all came together and put on a show, which was, the reason it was historic was it was the first local shot live MMA show in Thailand's history on live TV. So, anyone that's been in Thailand and knows Thailand, Muay Thai's king. And that's the only thing you see on TV. So the UFC and ONE FC does get replayed and sometimes live, but it's shot outside. But there's not local Thai events shot live in Thailand that are MMA. This was the very first time. So we were kind of like the trailblazers and had to like set the bar and kind of like show a bunch of Thai people what MMA is about, because this is kind of like going back in time when MMA was coming up in America. People were like, what the hell is this? So there was a lot of, and on our main card we had 2 Thai fighters, Top Noi, Top Saxkaran from Tiger.
Even that girl from Tiger, Luma Luke Boomy.
Yeah, they were.
Holy shit.
These are very, very well-known Muay Thai fighters who have transitioned into MMA, and so there were a lot of Thai people probably watching TV like, they're Thai fighters, but why are they in a cage? Why are they doing takedowns, defending takedowns?
They all did.
And Luma,
really well. Yeah.
Luma was like doing great on the ground,
Yeah.
So
it was very entertaining.
And then we had performance.
Out of the 6 fights, only 1 went to decision.
Yeah.
So it was action packed. And for it to be on TV, and us doing it, kind of helping out, of course, with other guys, Sam and Lee, and of course, George and stuff. But yeah, man, it was
Thomas.
I'll do it again.
Your boy Thomas.
Oh, Thomas, man, this guy Thomas from Sweden, man.
Go ahead and say what you, so people can picture what Thomas looks and sounds like.
Well, he's this is gonna sound bad, but this dude's probably 6'1", 230.
No, we compared height. He's like 5'11".
Whatever. I don't know. If you're under 6'5", you don't count.
All right.
But anyway, he's a stout built guy, does triathlons or some weird shit like that. But he's got a high pitched voice, man. So I think I kind of pissed him off.
When he gets excited.
Yeah.
He
When he's
doesn't walk around
excited.
squeaking or anything.
He hugged me 41 times.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Really, yeah. But he did look like Popeye, but sounded like Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, he liked that when you told him that too.
He didn't. Yeah.
That was like maybe 5 minutes into meeting him.
And then when I said I slept with his sister.
That didn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely went south from there.
Wow.
But then you're best friends in the green room in the back, so that was cool.
It's amazing what one beer will do.
I was like, I got to go break this up, and then you guys are just hugging and being
Yeah,
best
he's a nice
friends.
guy, man. Like I said, everybody out there was cool as shit, man. It was even the owner of the club we were at, Bone.
Chang,
man. That
dude,
guy's
Chang is the man.
cool as hell.
Chang's younger than us, man, and his club is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go in details with how much things cost, but
God, I wish you would though.
oh
That's
my
some
God,
expensive, nice
he
shit,
spent
man.
a fortune on that. So, but anyway, yeah. So the event went good, and it was fun. We had 6 fights, 4 on the live broadcast. We're gonna replay like the UFC used to do on the pay-per-views if we had time. But dude, we cut it down to. They wanted us done 5 minutes before 10 o'clock, and it was like 6 minutes before.
Well, thank God that kid got
Nailed
kicked in
it.
the nuts, and that took a good 9 minutes.
It was a girl. By the way, let's go ahead and touch on that, because that is the first time in my entire career, I've seen a female take a knee to the groin and needing the full 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you remember I was in the back, so I didn't know exactly who it had.
I mean, it's something you've always kind of wondered, like, what happens
if... I don't know, do girls wear cups?
Well, from what I heard...
I mean, A cups and B cups, I get all that shit, but I'm talking about, like, the cups.
They vary. From what I heard, boxers do. So female boxers have some kind of cup, but in MMA, because of the movement, they don't have a cup that's comfortable or it fits. So it's kind of always been kind of something that I guess you've thought about, like what happens if a girl gets, since women's MMAs came around, what happens if a girl takes a low blow, like because it can't feel good.
No,
I mean it doesn't, just because she doesn't have
reproductive organs.
What we have, it can't feel good to take a knee right to the groin. So
well, you don't have what I have.
Okay, whatever. So anyway, the point was we got that question answered because she was in like dire pain, and like she took the full 5 minutes. So
I wonder what a female cup looks like.
I don't know. Well, that's another thing we might have to get into in a future podcast.
Maybe we'll bring one on.
Yeah, I've never heard or seen anything about it. Like I really don't know, but it's interesting. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, so we had the fights. They ended right on time. And then we had immediately at 10 o'clock performances by Clear, Paradox, Big Ass Rock Band, and Hero Bust. Yeah, I mean, these are the biggest names in Thailand. I mean, these guys are huge. I actually
enjoyed, man. That was some good music, actually. I'm not a real big live music fan, but
it was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Too bad we had to leave in the morning. Oh, which was a fucking treat.
Yeah. So we were kind of up a little bit late because anytime we finish a show,
we gotta
it's been tough.
Mingle.
It's never easy. And then we had to mingle a little bit and kind of celebrate the fact that we survived and the show came off okay. Apparently it came off really good on TV, and it was good there. So apparently it was a success, and I can't wait to see the footage. We'll be putting it on Facebook. I posted some pictures on my Instagram, so Instagram.com/Mike_Swick. And then we will post hopefully the video from True Visions on my Facebook at /Mike Swick, hopefully soon. But
I got a little free advice for people if they come to Thailand.
Yeah.
If you say you want to go to the airport, name the fucking airport that you want to go to.
That was fun, wasn't it?
We tried to get to the Pattaya airport, and they took us to Bangkok. So obviously we don't have flights booked there, so we had to... AirAsia does not refund money.
Well, the guy came out, and so if you're in Pattaya, there is an airport in Pattaya. It's a small airport, and they have one flight a day, AirAsia, 1 in the morning. Well, basically just 1 in the morning. And we had a direct flight, already paid, already booked to go straight back to Phuket
with free meals.
We were all excited because we booked our meals online, and it was all great. And we got in the taxi, and he asked us if we want to go to Bangkok because we said the airport. And jokingly, I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, no, go to Pattaya, obviously. And he's like, okay, 1 hour and 20 minutes. And it was 45 minutes coming in from the airport. It was still not right next to the hotel. So I assumed like, okay, traffic or something. And next thing you know, we're like half asleep and we're in and out. And then like, he's like, okay, we're here. And it's like, Shishkaporn Airport in Bangkok. I still can't pronounce that airport. Sure
as fuck was the wrong one.
It was the wrong fucking airport. That's for sure. And when I saw that, I was like, we're in Bangkok. He drove us from Pattaya to Bangkok.
What really pisses me off the most is the flight, the meal on the flight. I had a nice chicken lasagna planned for me and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they gave us tuna fish sandwiches. I will literally eat raw chicken.
I didn't even open it. I knew better.
Dude,
I knew better.
Tuna fish. You know how I feel about tuna fish. I'll eat raw chicken. I'll risk salmonella before I ever eat tuna. I don't know how people eat tuna fish.
Yeah, but I will say...
You stink the house up every time you fucking eat it here. But
I do eat a lot of tuna fish. I'm trying to eat healthy right now. I will say this, though. Oddly enough, we drove from Pattaya to Bangkok, bought a plane ticket last minute, and it was, 15 minutes earlier than the flight we were going to take in Pattaya, and we ended up getting back earlier. Now, we lost 15,000 baht.
Yeah, we spent an extra $500 to get home 10 minutes early.
Yeah, so we spent about $500 to get home a little bit early.
So that was worth it.
We did get home early, and so there's that.
But other than that, man, dude, what a great trip.
It was good, man.
Yeah, that sucks, obviously, but...
And you fell asleep on the plane on my shoulder, which was a little weird, kind of, because it was only an hour flight.
And there was 40 open seats.
Yeah.
I guess I could have gone somewhere
You could have,
else.
laid down.
Well, look at those shoulders, man.
And fun fact, while you were sleeping on my shoulder, I was looking at an article, and did you know that there is a cat poop coffee?
Cat poop coffee?
Yeah. I shit you not.
Feline feces.
There is a cat, a civet, I believe it was, from Indonesia.
I'm not familiar with the civet from
Oddly
Indonesia.
enough, from the island of Java.
Oh, I see what you did
Yeah,
there.
and I've been to Indonesia a few times, and I guess it's from Bali too. And it is a civet cat who eats some kind of. They just shove it in a cage and feed it coffee beans or.
This is bullshit.
I can't make this up. Do you think I'm making up that a cat shits out coffee beans and they sell it?
Well, I'm not a big coffee drinker.
Why would I make that up?
Nor do I like cats.
I'm just saying it's a fun fact because this is what I did while you were sleeping on my shoulder.
So cats get fed coffee beans,
Yeah.
shit out coffee grinds. Do they grind it? How
No,
does it work?
there's not a lot of things to do when you're sitting there and someone's on your shoulder. So I was like looking at the articles and it was a magazine someone left, and then when I saw, cat feces, and then they had they had animations of how the process worked.
Okay.
So they had a cartoon cat in the cage, then they had a cartoon cat eating the beans, then they had a cartoon cat pooping the beans, then they had a gatherer pick up the beans. And yeah, they came out fully like beamed, like
That's not for me.
They weren't like grinded or anything. So I guess they take these beans and they put them in. It's apparently, from what I'm gathering from the article, one of the most expensive coffees in the world. It's $35 to $50 a cup.
Fuck that.
Yeah, something like $100 and something bucks. I forgot.
You think it tastes like shit?
I don't know. They said that it's more sold as a novelty, but it is a pretty in demand kind of in certain areas of the world.
At that point, how do you know it's not just some drunk 25-year-old guy just shitting in a fucking bag of coffee now?
They had photos and everything, man. It was like, it's like
Poor
a real
cats.
deal.
I don't know if you can
They have
survive off
they have
fucking
bird's
coffee.
nest soup here in Thailand for the
Yeah.
Chinese. And bird's nest soup, for those of you that don't know, it's there's birds that live in these caves out here in these islands, and they spit up something out of their stomach, and whatever they spit up, they build this nest, and it's somehow they collect this, I guess, vomit, maybe. I hope I'm right, because I'm an expert on the cat poop
Do you
soup
eat this
or
shit?
cat poop
Would you
coffee.
drink this? If we had some,
But the
if
bird's nest
somebody's-
soup, I'm not 100% accurate on, but they do collect it out of here, and it does come out of the bird's mouth, whatever this is, and it's called bird's nest soup, and they make all kinds
I know
of
it's
stuff.
expensive. Shit.
They make it in everything, all types. You see it all over
But I
Thailand.
want to know, if somebody were to send us, or if we had some, would you drink cat shit coffee?
No,
You wouldn't even try it?
I barely drink coffee. No, I wouldn't drink cat poop coffee. I just thought it was a cool story
What
to
if it had
share.
fat-free milk?
There's not a lot of articles that keep me like, I had to read the whole article, so I was
Wow.
like, it was just, I thought I'd just share that.
I appreciate that. I know. You really make me not want to drink coffee even more now.
Who would have known, right?
I don't know. How do we segue into something else here?
Yeah, well,
Let's talk about that UFC fight today, or yesterday with Yushin Okami.
Yeah, so I fought Yushin Okami, obviously. And fun fact, I also just got that picture of that sponsored banner.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go back to the fight real fast. Yeah, it was they didn't throw a punch, I think.
It was the second fight in UFC history where there wasn't a significant strike thrown. Now they took him down. There was a couple of these, in the ribs or whatever. They didn't do shit, but he Von Flew the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yushin Okami went to sleep. Apparently, there's only been 3 Von Flew chokes, and OSP's got 2 of them. So there's some fun. Are we throwing fun facts back and forth?
Yeah, and it's disheartening a little bit when I got punched by Yushin Okami about 300 times to lose my decision.
But hold on. But that was also a history-making fight too.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Why don't
yeah.
you share that with the children?
What with the sponsor banner, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just got the picture, finally. So, I mean, it's been how many years since UFC 69? It was April 2007.
So it's fuck, man.
I mean, it's been like 10 years.
We're looking at 130 months.
So, MMA Junkie did an article.
Fuck.
I'll go and tell the full story because it's kind of historic, right?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
So I was the first person to actually use a fight sponsor banner in the history of the sport, which I wish I got residuals on like every sponsor banner since then because that'd be pretty sweet, right?
Well, everybody uses them now, except UFC now.
So oddly enough, from the time we dropped the banner till now sitting in this podcast room, no one's ever asked me about it. But there's been one article done about it from MMA Junkie. I think they talked to John Morgan or something, and somebody was on like this trail to like find who the first sponsor banner was, like who used the first sponsor banner. And
And it was you in Houston.
Well, it was me. Yeah.
In fucking Houston.
Here's the funny thing. I actually learned I was the first to use the sponsored banner from that article. I know this sounds weird. I'm gonna make more sense out of this in a second. So I'm looking at the internet and it says who was the first person to use a sponsored banner in fighting. Now I knew I was one of the first for sure, but I didn't know if I was the first, right? Because at the time, you know, like say you get a new sponsor on your shorts and you've never seen it before. You don't know that no one else has used that sponsor. Yeah. You just know that you haven't seen it. So when we decided to do the banner, I know I've never seen it before, and it was a huge risk. But I didn't know if someone else did it or not, and I never thought nothing else about it because I lost the fight by decision, and then it was a traumatizing fight. I was going to fight Anderson Silva if I won that fight. It was number one contender fight. It was in Houston.
Forgot I was at
so I didn't
that
give
fight.
a shit about the banner. But anyway, so I'm looking at this article on MMA Junkie, and I'm like, damn, I wonder who was the first person to use the first sponsored banner if it wasn't me. And I go through the article, and I think the article was done in 2013. So, I mean, it's still been 4 years.
So you've been holding this in for 4 years.
And still, no one's asked me nothing about it. So anyway, they go through the article, and they watched every UFC, every match, and the first time they ever saw somebody drop a sponsored banner was me. And they announced it in the article, and they said, blah, blah, blah. And then I started remembering, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because I remember John Fitch first mentioned it, I think, to Bob Cook, the American Top Team used to drop their team banner, and it said American Top Team. And Bob Cook, we were getting a lot of sponsors at the time. It was me, Koscheck, Fitch, Forrest, Chuck. We were all kind of dealing with the same management, and we had a lot of sponsors. So I think Bob then took it from there and said we should put sponsors on the banner. And it was just not hearsay, but just talk, and nothing came of it. And then I had the next fight, and I had a lot of sponsors. And I remember Bob came up to me, and he goes, so Swick, and this was pretty close to the fight, mind you. And he goes, Swick, what do you think about us dropping a vinyl banner behind you when they do the introductions, and we put your sponsors on there, and we'll make you a little bit more money?
What sponsors? Do you remember any of them?
It was Toe to Toe, Sprawl, Renegade Fightwear, and Pain Incorporated.
No Condom Depot?
No Condom Depot.
Did you ever have Condom Depot?
Nope. So I remember thinking to myself, well, the first thought I had was, and I hope I'm right about this, but I remember that I think Rico Rodriguez, at one point in the early days, he wanted to put I don't know if he wanted a banner, and he didn't want a banner, actually. It wasn't a banner, but he wanted to put a big tattoo on his back, like a painted, was it hentai or whatever, of golden casino something.com,
That
.net.
was Rico Rodriguez.
Yeah, it was one of the first like gambling online casino things. And I remember he was trying to do it or something, and then Dana put a stop to it. But it was somewhere else. They banned that sponsor for whatever reason. And he was trying to find a way to go around the system. And so he ended up putting it on his back. And no one knew. And then he walked out and he fought with it. And I believe Dana lost his shit, and the UFC got pissed and fined him and all this stuff. So that's all I thought about at that point, right? I'm thinking like, dude, you drop a fucking vinyl banner behind me, and like, I'm going to get fucked for sure.
I can kind of block that out, though.
Well, it was so close to the fight, and I'm thinking like, I mean, it took me a second to think about it, to be honest. It wasn't like an instant answer. And then Bob's like, well, I mean, what can they do? What's the worst they can do? You're already out there. You're going to fight. I'm like, well, they can fine me. They can kick my corner out. I mean, I didn't want to come back.
To a point, yeah.
I didn't want to come back after the second round and no corners there because Dana's like, what the hell were you guys doing? Get out of here.
You don't listen to them anyway.
But I had a good relationship with Dana, and so I think that's the only reason why I said, cool, let's do it, because I'm like, I get along really well with Dana. We've done a lot of PR together, so I'm like, at worst case, he's going to come to me and say, Swick, what the hell are you doing? Like, really? You're going to put a banner without asking me?
Well, see, what's crazy is when you fought at 189, the last fight, you were able to use a banner.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No.
No, I didn't. That was I was the first guy to actually use a sponsored banner, and I was on the first card that the UFC stopped using banners. Yeah.
So the fight before that I went with you, went backstage, I actually took the banner to go get it checked. You remember that?
Oh, that's when I was getting reamed by the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But it's ironic that because you did that banner shit 10 years ago,
he had a job.
This guy has a job.
Right. Yeah, so what happened there was, in the morning, for those of you who don't know, in the morning of the fight, ironically, maybe it's the weigh-ins or the fight, at that time. I don't remember, but
They got to check shorts.
you had to get your shorts checked. You had to get the sponsor banner checked, and they have to approve the logos, which makes sense. I get it. And they did. I've always done everything by the book. I've never tried to, sneak anything or put an extra sponsor on. And they checked it. They signed off on it. And then come fight time, backstage, they looked at my banner, and it wasn't signed off on. So then they're giving me a hard time. And they're like, you can't walk out. You can't fight. And I'm like, buddy, I don't need this stress right now. I'm about to literally walk out and fight. And this is approved. I mean, it's the same. You see my shorts are approved. It's the same sponsors. Like, what's the problem here? And he's just like, well, this is my job, to look after the sponsor banners and make sure that they're all right and everything.
Makes an hour.
And like we went into this we were like arguing like backstage, and then Hav jumped in and or Bob or whoever, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, man, I was the first guy to ever use a sponsored banner, and you're giving me shit about it. Like it's like crazy. How ironic is that?
I got you this job, dickhead.
Well, I didn't say it quite like that.
I would have.
But I was the first guy to use one, and then they all of a sudden. But going back, I want to go back a little bit. How crazy this is! When I dropped that sponsored banner at UFC 69, not a fucking word was said, not a peep.
I didn't know what to do.
Dana, the UFC, a fighter, not a single person said a single word to me. They didn't ask a question. They didn't say, why did you do that? How did you do that? Did the UFC approve it? Did you get in any trouble? Not a single word was said. And if you look at the picture, which we'll have to post, you can see Dana looking down as I'm standing there at the teleprompter. And of course, he has that look on his face. Of course, he's thinking to himself, like, what in the hell is Swick doing? Like, what is this?
Did you ever talk to him about
And it was big. No, I've never said it. This is the first time ever, 10 years later. This is the only time I've ever talked to anybody about this, aside from just you and people that know me. Not a single reporter's ever asked me even after that article came out in 2013 from MMA Junkie, they never called or got my, you would think they'd want to know, like, why'd you do it? Did the UFC tell you to do it? But immediately following that fight, it became the thing to do. And again, no one ever said anything.
Every single person in
Every
the world.
fight. The next card had a few more.
Boxing did it. Taekwondo.
Then a few more. Then a few more. And then pretty soon it was like everybody was doing it. And then after that, the UFC had a whole division for it. Like it started becoming like they had a whole like sponsorship department that like checked the sponsors, and you had guidelines and forms you had to fill out and everything. And I'm just like, wow.
If y'all are listening, y'all better thank Mike for that, because I'm sure they're getting paid decent.
I'm sure somebody would have figured it out either way, but it's just weird to me that like
you did it.
It's still weird to me that to this day no one's ever asked about it. That's the strangest thing.
Edison was the first to do a light bulb or some shit. Not to say anybody ever would have done it, but he was the first. You're the Thomas Edison of the UFC.
A little bit different. A little bit different.
I'm just trying to shine some light on the subject.
Yeah.
That's a light bulb joke, Mike.
I get it. But yeah, so I mean, there's that. It's cool. I'm gonna post that picture soon. Now that I just got it, I've been busy with this fight card and everything. But yeah, I mean it's historic, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to make like a duplicate, like a remake of that banner, and put it at the gym. We already got so much stuff going up there. Mickey Rourke and like Mark.
Yeah, where's our shit from Mickey Rourke?
Oh yeah, that should be coming in soon.
If not, we can make a small banner. We don't need the fucking 11 by 11 foot banner. We just do a
small
one.
Yeah.
Just old school stuff,
Yeah.
Maybe let this fella do it.
So yeah, and so also we did on the last episode we asked for sponsored or potential sponsored fighters to leave their information, all their stats, their bio, why they want to be sponsored by AKA Thailand, and we were giving away free sponsorships, and we still are. So we're not going to announce that on the show each time, because what we're finding out is there's a lot of talented fighters leaving their information. So we're going to take
a lot of shit.
We're going to take a lot of these guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got
Let's
a
just
few.
say we don't take 6.
Yeah, we've already got a list that we're compiling right now of some of these guys that we're going to go ahead and give them a sponsorship.
Originally, you wanted to do 1 or 2, but man, there's some high level guys that.
Yeah, we're getting messages. We're getting people from the YouTube channel. But please make sure that you go to episode number 7 and leave the comment there, because that's the one that we check all the time.
Yeah.
And then we're compiling the list
that's
from
easier,
that video.
him and I can do it together.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, if you send it to my email, he doesn't see it. So
Yeah.
we got to, So that's the best.
I do sometimes check your emails, just so you know.
You don't have my email address.
Well, the official company.
Well, yeah, but
to see how you're doing.
Not my personal.
You do pretty good,
though. Do pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
I know.
So, yeah, and So keep leaving your stats. I want to keep that going. So I don't want to end that. I don't want to say that that's over yet because, man, we might just keep that going for a while. I mean, it's a perfect video talking about Thailand and training and living and fighting out of here. So
thank God rain season's almost over, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this monsoon shit.
It's actually not too bad, though. So for those of you that don't know about the seasons, right now is the worst part of the year, though we do get probably 2 to 3 hours of sun a day. So it's not too bad.
You still go to the beach and enjoy Thailand.
But when it rains a little bit hard.
When it rains, it pours.
It pours, yeah. I was going to say that, but
that's I don't think you'd be the first to say
cliche.
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you know.
And then we're going to add some more videos coming up, some more snippets of other things. So the latest one we did was Luke.
God, man, that thing's taken off.
Yeah, so I basically wanted to share Jim's story. So if you look at the last upload we did before this podcast, I just basically gave a story just to give you a different perspective of Luke and why he might be as arrogant as you think. I'm not saying he's humble, right? He's never said he's humble, right? But that being said, I just wanted to give another perspective of why him, and more so not only him, but like a lot of fighters like myself. We talked about myself, and when I first got in the UFC, like how I had that chip on my shoulder, and like I was out to prove to the world that I was capable of being in the UFC, and that could be very easily perceived as being cocky and arrogant. Some of the things I said, I'm just saying. So I was giving a different perspective of that.
It's when people always want to whine, like LeBron James makes $40 million a year or something. Blah, blah, blah. Well, if you were making that 40, you wouldn't be bitching.
Yeah.
So it's all jealousy and just, like I said, that keyboard warrior crap. So.
Yeah. Well, I know. I mean, like I said, there's but we're getting good response and like
even my Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. We're still pushing that too.
Yeah.
We're still pushing for the Shia LaBeouf fight. We haven't heard anything back from Shia. Just a little update there.
He's scared, dude. He's scared. But I will say that all the comments, people are like, Mark doesn't know how to lose. Never tried, but I mean, he's right.
Yeah, I got to get back on the comments. I mean, we've been so busy for the last few days. I'm going to get back on it. The comments from the Luke one's been good. We got 80 comments there, and I'm trying to get through as many as I can. A lot of good ones.
We get a lukewarm response, but we've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, and then the Luke one is like hot and cold because there's a lot of like
lukewarm.
It's lukewarm. Exactly.
Did you just catch that one?
Yeah, it's a love hate.
It's
a love hate.
Start enjoying them.
It's a love hate, man, for sure. But we appreciate the comments, and I'll get on there and answer some of them. And there's the occasional, bad one where people are just being dicks.
Yeah, they're just nothing better to do.
Yeah, but for the most part, they're good, and we're going to get back into doing that as well. So keep leaving the comments, definitely, and we'll keep responding. And
I'm shocked how positive they've been.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And again, I definitely want to say I appreciate that because, I mean...
It's so easy to talk shit to people. It's
Yeah.
so easy. That guy's a fucking dork. Look at his teeth. He's got small ears, And I don't know what they say about me,
Yeah.
But, I just... The comments are not kind of pitch you up a little bit in the morning,
Yeah, it's good. So like I said, as long as people are enjoying this, we're going to keep doing it. But, man, yeah, definitely. And I want to give a big shout-out to Daniel Cormier.
Yes. Oh, real quick with Mike Swick podcast alum, Daniel Cormier.
There you go. And so
put that on his resume.
A little update from that podcast. He is getting his belt back.
That's
or he did get his belt back.
Well deserved, too.
And, I mean, look at his post comments. I mean, if you watch the podcast... you'll see that we kind of the whole point of the podcast was I wanted to show what kind of guy he really was, and he proved it, man. He definitely proved it after getting the belt back. I mean, the comments that he's made, how he's acted, especially towards Jones, man, he's just a true champion through and through. And it's crazy to me that you see these guys that were saying he shouldn't get the belt back, he should fight for it. And even worse than that other people should fight for it, and then he should challenge them.
Yeah,
and it's like,
stupid.
what?
That's dumb.
Like, nobody's beaten Daniel Cormier except John Jones, and John Jones can't test clean. I mean, what are you supposed?
What's he supposed to do?
And the point is, and my point about this is, for the people that are like confused about him getting his belt back and they don't think it's right. Okay, so he got knocked out. That's their thing. He got knocked out, so he shouldn't be a champion.
Out by illegal fucking shit.
No, but I'm just saying the point is they're saying he got knocked out. When you get knocked out, you shouldn't be a champion. It's just the bottom line. But the issue is this. It's like, does that mean every time you get beat in the gym that you lose your belt? I mean, basically, when you pop on a steroid test or a drug test, it's an unsanctioned fight, essentially. You know, or it's just no
It's like
contest.
getting jumped at a club or something. You
Exactly.
Get your ass
Somebody
kicked, you're not gonna. Oh well, you know.
Somebody walks up to you and just punches you on the street. It doesn't mean you lose your belt if you're a champion.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, man. It doesn't count. It's not official.
yeah.
It's a sport, and it's regulated, and that's what's made it safe. That's what's made it popular, and that's what's made it grow. So you got to respect that. So he's never lost his belt, and it doesn't matter that he got knocked out.
Do you think Cormier has cashed his check yet? The one that he
I
was
don't
saving?
know. He's got clarity. I'll have to text him and see.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I
He
just
got-
want to see what $1 million check looks like.
Yeah, he got clarity on it. So
Don't tell me you've seen one.
$1 million? No, I haven't seen $1 million check. No,
Oh, okay.
I mean I've seen them, but they weren't like they didn't have Mike Swick written on
my
them.
pants if I had $1 million check.
Yeah, nah.
You
I
can
haven't
do that
seen-
when you're a millionaire. You just shit wherever you want. What are people gonna do?
Speaking of shitting wherever you want, this is a good segue. We're at 800 now.
Fucking no.
And
What is
if
with you
I-
guys subscribing so much?
And if I remember correct, just the last podcast, number 7, I announced that we were at 500.
Yeah.
So we've gained 300 subscribers in a week or however long it's been.
Well, I did put a picture of me shirtless on my Instagram.
Is that what you did? That must be from that,
That's what I mean, fuck, sex sells.
apparently. So what that means is you're 200 away. And because this Luke video, for whatever reason, it's getting a crazy amount of views and comments and subscribes.
Dude, I might be getting choked out in 2 weeks.
We've gotten 150 in the last couple of days. So I'm a couple of weeks, buddy. I'm thinking a week. We're going to get 1,000. So you might want to start shopping for diapers and like.
I'm not gonna shit myself.
You very well could.
Okay, well if we shit, okay, if I shit myself, can we please not film it again?
No, but the point is, people at home need to see what it's like for somebody like yourself, who's not a fighter and who's never trained, to get choked out. So whatever happens during the choke out process, that's just the way it is.
Okay, well then I'll shit before the podcast.
Buddy, you can do whatever you want before the podcast. Maybe you piss yourself, or maybe you'll throw up.
Why do I have to desecrate my body with fucking urine and feces to make you happy?
I'm just saying, dude. I'm not trying to scare you here, but I am kind of trying to scare you too.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll just tell them because I don't hide anything from the fans. I tried to get Mike to choke me out a couple days ago just so I could see what it's like, and he won't do it. He's waiting strictly for the podcast.
Yeah, it's got to be real,
It's a
man.
whole move on you, dude.
We promised everybody watching that we will choke you out for the first time ever at 1,000 subscribers. And you're already stalling because I'm telling you to get prepared because it's about to happen. You're like, oh, well, we'll wait. You know, it didn't have to be right at
I'm not
1,000.
fucking excited about doing that.
Well, yeah, but you're making excuses already.
Fighters
so don't back
train
out.
to not do that.
Yeah, but it happens. All of us have been choked out.
That's fine. That's your job.
Well, your job
Have
now.
you ever dunked on somebody? No. When I was doing it, yes, it's fun.
There's no proof you've ever dunked on anybody. You can't
I
just
have
throw
footage. I
things
will
out
get
there.
footage sent from Houston. Two-handed alley-oop all over this fucking kid.
All right.
Three-quarters
Kid.
court.
Okay, well, good for you. It's a kid.
Well, I was 18. He was 16. Sorry.
Okay, well, you're 38 now, so that's been a while.
You don't think I can still dunk?
No.
Oh, your dick hurts.
A donut?
No, I don't eat donuts.
Well,
I can still dunk.
okay, but the point is, you're going to get choked out, and you can't back out because that's not fair to the fans and to the people watching.
I got no problem getting choked out.
Well, you seem to, because I said today that you need to prepare for that, and I'm about to leave for
How do I
Moscow.
prepare for it? Practice laying down? I mean, what the fuck? Practice closing my eyes?
Well, you keep stalling. I said let's go ahead and get this thing ready and prepare, and like.
No, I'm fine. But you want to choke me out. Now, you just want to choke me out. You're just ready to do it.
Well,
get
I
it.
think. Well, here's the thing. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to say that we're fake about this, but I want to choke him out before I go to Moscow because I leave tomorrow, and I know we're going to hit 1,000 subscribers in the next few
Well,
days.
see, I think once we hit
At the rate that we're
1,000,
going, I'm going to be in Moscow.
tough shit. It's
So
not like
I can
the
choke you
second
out.
we get 1,000, you have to choke me out.
That's we should. I'm going to be in Moscow anyway, so we might as well post it then. So give somebody else, give our viewers something to watch while I'm gone.
When you win the lottery, you don't get it that second because you have the winning numbers. You
This
have
ain't
to.
the lottery. This is just a.
It is for you.
But why are you
I'm just
stalling?
trying to explain. That
I'm
you
asking
get
you.
the
I'm
reward.
just asking why you're stalling. You're stalling right now again.
I'm not excited to get choked out. But
you're stalling.
When we hit 1,000, what if, God forbid, you don't come back from Russia?
What? How did that escalated quickly?
Well, because that means that you wouldn't be able to choke me out.
So then let's do it and get it over with. So at least we can give the viewers what they were promised.
Huh.
Yeah. Even if I don't come back from Russia, we will get 1,000 subscribers at the rate that
Then
we're
I will
going.
go to Russia and you can choke me out
No.
after I get a visa.
See, you're proving me right. You're stalling.
Yeah, man, I'm stalling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not excited.
What are you the most afraid of?
I just want to wake the fuck back up. Is basically what it is.
I'll wake you up, dude.
I don't want to die in your arms.
But let me ask you this.
On a camera.
Let me ask you this. If you had a choice of dying in anyone's arms, who are your top 3? If you had to pick 3 guys or people.
I never really thought about it,
Well,
but it'd probably be. I'd go. Megan Fox would be fun.
No, come on. People that would actually, be there for you.
Oh, well, I do have a father and a
Okay,
twin
there's
brother.
1. Okay, that's 2. Who's the 3rd? That's sitting to your right.
Ah, fuck.
So see?
He doesn't have thumbs. Oh, you.
So
That's fine. I'll take. Yes.
I'm not going to kill you. I've choked people out my whole
We're
life.
signing a waiver because if you kill me,
No. You have to give permission to the camera that if something happens, I'm not responsible.
how are you not responsible? You're the
Yes,
one fucking choking me.
Yeah, but you agreed that you would get choked out on camera.
All right, fine. It's probably no big deal. I'm probably just making a big fuss out of it. But I just never had it happen to me.
So you want to do it right after this?
No. I don't know. No, I want to eat first.
So you want to eat? You want to prepare by eating? So we can call it like a last meal, just to.
Yeah, I want to have. I want to have a 7-Eleven croissant as my last meal here in Thailand.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to Moscow tomorrow. I'm actually got to pack. So that's going to be cool. And hopefully you'll join me one of these days. It's the one place that you haven't went that I've went, and I'm supporting.
I've never been to Indonesia. I never been to China. Never been to Florida. Never been to Canada.
Okay.
So you've taken me nowhere.
I've taken you everywhere. Cool. Except Moscow. Okay, but the point is, I'm.
Yeah, Byron was cool. Byron, California.
Well, you got to see people jumping out of planes. So I'm going to Moscow tomorrow, and I'm going to support Ultimate Fitness, my friend Tolia's gym, and then meet up with Khabib. And
I miss Tolia.
Khabib is going to be there, I think, at the end of the month here. Hopefully we'll be able to meet up and then go to Eagles MMA.
Eagles, yeah.
So I'll train at Eagles MMA, Ultimate Fitness. And so if anyone's watching from Russia, I will be there starting tomorrow for at least a week. So I'll be traveling around Moscow and training and hanging out, mostly at Ultimate Fitness. But
are you doing an appearance, or is it just hanging out with friends?
I'm going to do a seminar on October. I'll put on my Instagram. I think it's October 3rd, or 1st or 2nd maybe. It's not the 3rd, I don't think. So it's on my Instagram. I'll put it on my Instagram tomorrow. So we'll be doing a seminar. It's a master class. It's what they call it in Russia.
Huh.
That must mean I'm a master then.
Well, you are in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
you are.
okay, but I know you're setting me up for something here.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm gonna bring that picture. We're gonna sneak it into this podcast
Somehow.
Why don't we hang the motherfucker up here? God, we have so much space. We don't have to keep it like this. We can change it up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's all right.
Fucking kind of boring. So we need to.
It's part of our ambiance.
We could hang the certificate right there.
All right. So if you have nothing else better to say, we'll let these viewers go and keep it a short podcast this time. So
that's fine.
Yeah, we got the story out about the first sponsored banner, and it was kind of cool to shed light on that because, like I said, nobody's ever asked me about that. It's kind of weird.
We've got to find that banner.
We threw it in the back of it's gone, dude. We just threw it down and but if anyone has any questions, post it on the comments under the video and we will address it because it is historic, and like I said, I didn't even know at the time that I was the first. I knew I was taking a big risk.
I will say,
but we did it.
You were the first person I ever saw to wear an Affliction shirt.
Yeah? That has no relevance on anything, but that's cool.
Shouldn't have been that first person.
Oh.
It's a fucking Affliction. You had to wash it with jewelry cleaner. It was so bedazzled.
Yeah. Not mine. I didn't get a bedazzled one.
Bullshit.
Was it?
I'm 90% sure. Well, in my eyes, I'm sure it was.
All right.
So don't do that again.
All right, I won't.
Fucking Affliction.
But anyway.
Oh, good segue.
Nice. So cool, guys. So thanks again for the comments and for the views. And we're probably bringing you an interesting guest next. We're trying to book somebody really cool. So I don't want to spoil it.
I want to tell them.
It doesn't happen, but
it's gonna fucking happen.
It's gonna happen, but it's gonna be a good one. So we're getting prepared for that.
Not safe for work. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, you might want to put the earphones in on this one. Not share it with the kids.
Yeah, we wanted to have a little shock value for the next podcast.
Yeah, this one, I've been looking forward to this. And buddy, hey, I got this guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give me some love. I'm starting.
You've been talking to this guy for a long time. You know him more than I do,
Yeah.
and I'm in the sport.
Yeah, but
I've never even talked to him, to be honest with you. More than just like hello and like.
He's something special. Y'all will definitely appreciate this next guy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps me quiet. I mean, because there's no point in talking. Just let him go.
Well, before you give it away, we'll
I'm not gonna say who.
We'll keep the suspense going, and we're gonna get that uploaded really fast after this one because we had kind of a little bit of break between 7 and 8. So we'll get that one uploaded pretty soon after this one.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching again, and it's good to be back.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be gone again.
I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
And we'll show you that choke video.
I will
next,
tweet out the
4 days.
address of this place. We're having a party here whenever you leave.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he has parties when I leave, and takes over and just wrecks the house.
Yeah, not your room. I stay out of your room.
Yeah, because I lock it with fucking chains and bolts and everything else I can find.
There's another way in.
Yeah, you figured that out.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
But yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff. Like I said, stay tuned for the next guest is going to be a hoot.
Yeah, all right. So let's try to make sure we can get that hammered down. I'm trusting you on that one. If it falls through, it's his fault.
Yeah.
All my guests have shown up. So.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh, shit.